Good morning, everybody. It's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill on a wet day today. We've got some frigid air coming in Alabama. It's being brought in by some rain, so it's going to be on and off all day. While it's slacked up for a minute here, I think I'll go out and get everybody fed and take my baskets back that I gathered eggs in and hang them back up, because that has gone very well. And I'll show you in just a minute what we're talking about. Since we fenced in the whole front of the property, I've been letting Gidget, my little Pomeranian that's absolutely, yeah, she's pretty fast. I've never let her out front because my fear is she will go and not come back. So now that we've got the fencing in, I have let her and Arlo out to run. I cannot film it. They're too fast, both of them. They go different directions, so just trust me. I let them out. And this morning, Gidget, I'm still scared she's going to get away from me. The gate that's over here on the side of the house that goes back to the back garden area has got a gap in it. And it's because it's an iron gate and it doesn't sit flush on the ground. Well, almost one of the first times I let Gidget out, she went under that gate into the backyard where there's another gate that leads to an area that's not fenced in, and we had a chase. She hasn't done that since, but I do think I'm going to get a little bit of dirt and fill that in so it won't be so high where she can get under it. But my point was, I'm out here making sure she doesn't go too far, and I see this stuff in Mama's front yard. Now, mind you, we've had a lot of rain, but this stuff and the grass is not covered completely. The soil is poor over here. Hey, boys, and we're still working on getting grass, but look at all this stuff. And I'm going to call it stuff because I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a fungus or it looks like algae almost. It's kind of, I don't know. It's not any kind of manure or feces or anything like that. So no concern there. It's definitely plant-based. Good morning, fellas. I'm going to have to show y'all because you're so excited playing with Holly this morning. But y'all, I don't know what in the world that is. It has to be something that came up because of the rain. And you can see that it's weird. It's very weird. So I haven't shown that to Jason. He may know the immediate answer, but I just thought it was odd that that was washed up everywhere. Now, we had over 6.5 inches of rain over the weekend. I'm going to take this off. No telling what my hair looks like, but I feel like y'all can't see me and I can't see y'all. But the pond got filled up, and that's not what we wanted to happen, but we kind of figured that winter tends to be our rainiest months. So if it was gonna fill up, it was gonna be during the winter. And lo and behold, it did. But the geese are not unhappy about it. Now I see 2 pigs. This is good. So while there's a break in the weather, I'm gonna get the geese some food, put it down, and then go shut this gate. I got their feed bowl out because I fed them yesterday morning while Gus and Loretta were occupied, and I left feed in it, so we have wet feed. Okay, that's not good. Geese really don't care, so I'm probably just going to put some dry on top of that. They can eat that, and then they will probably eat the leftovers. Let's see here. Just going to do a scoop of dry, so that way that won't get saturated as well. Just don't want Gus and Loretta to hear me before I get it out. Well, I know Loretta didn't hear me because she has difficulty hearing. I was worried about Gus, but it's obvious that the geese know that I did put food in the bowl. So here they come. I said it wasn't that cold, but my hands got wet, and now I've changed my mind. It's cold. I've got on a thermal shirt under my shirt under this, but this rain jacket's extremely light, so we might have to make a wardrobe change here in a minute. And I made it. I'm gonna shut this gate. Nugget's over here, so he might want to come back. Come on, buddy. I know you're faster than Gus any day of the week. We'll open this gate back and you can be with your friends in just a few minutes. There was one thing I wanted to look at, and that was the hay up here for Jesse, Honey, all the goats. Emus don't eat hay, and it's getting kind of low. But I also want them to eat that's left before I put a new bale out. So that's going to be determined. I might just get it tomorrow, the coldest day of the year thus far. All right, Gus, you got it. A pile of mud. And here she comes. She's got her Nikes on this morning. She is moving. You look like you've been eating something already. What have you got all over your face? Huh? Good gracious, you're nasty. You've been rooting, that's for sure. All right, I'll get y'all fixed up. Look at the difference in the water that they can't reach versus the water that they put their faces in. Yeah, stuff like that comes off on it. And you too, you're a nasty boy. Look at your face. All right, definitely gonna get their food prepared and wet down so they can have their breakfast. You can't fit through there, can you? Let's see if we don't hear somebody squealing. Pocket? Pocket. Well, they don't make sounds on command, obviously. But all is well in Peaches and Pocket land. Are y'all ready to eat this morning? Peaches let out a big grunt, so it's obvious that she's ready. I could hear Pocket when I was coming up the road before I turned into the pasture, whinnying, as well as Tater mooing. So, oh yeah. Heat is on in here in the milk room. We got Biscuit holding everything down in here. You look nice and comfy, girl. Yeah. Nice and comfy, all stretched out in your bed in your heated milk room this morning. Tell you what, y'all got it made, and I wish I could save every single one of the animals in the whole wide world. And people. Well, I almost missed you up here on the top of the cabinet. I don't have but one window, unfortunately, and I guess when Biscuit doesn't allow you to join her, you have your own special place up on top of the cabinet. And the sign behind you says a place for everything, and everything has a place. Perfect. Well, I got these two feed fixed up, and while they're in this stall, I've made the decision to go ahead and close this gate because I do indeed want to bring a bale of hay. I came out here and I took a peek at it, and I think it's too close to not fill it up. I don't want, of course there's no grass, and goats get a little bit of grain, but they primarily depend on hay. So we're going to leave the pigs locked up, Nuggets locked up on the other side. Jesse and Honey are the only ones that I have to contend to with everybody being locked up. How are you this morning, Miss Honey and Miss Jessie? And I'll show y'all. It is a little bit of hay left in the bottom, and there's always going to be some waste. But that's just, they'll have to get in there, and I'm worried that Jesse and Honey can't. So I'm going to get them a hay bale. First, I got to feed these starving cows. All right, I got y'all coming. Let's check this fence first. Oh, it's on. I'm glad I checked it. Everybody hungry this morning? All right, come on, Matilda. You get your bucket down here on the end, girl. Come on. All the way down. I'm gonna get this other bucket. There you go, big girl. Bramble, Bramble, kitty, kitty. Yeah, I was about to get worried about you. I did not see you this morning. Where were you? You're dry, so I know you've been somewhere tucked away, but goodness, I usually get greeted by you first thing, and when you didn't come, I didn't know what to think. Yeah, I just saw Sylvester and Biscuit. Dee Dee, we're gonna get us a feed bag or something to put on the tractor seat because it's left over at the shop, and I know good and well that seat's gonna be wet. So, Squills of Joy gets the cut this morning. We're going to use that for a tractor seat covering. I know I've got to put the spear on the front of the tractor, and I might as well go ahead and open these doors so all I got to do is drive in because the goats get horse hay. And I did pick up 4 more bales this week. I was scared that I might not have green grass and run out of hay before it's time. That's just how my brain works, and I don't want to be left without. So 4 more bales has us 6 hay bales in the barn for the cows. No. 6 hay bales in the barn for the horses and the goats. And then I think I have 11 cow. I want it to carry me to about the 2nd week of March. And that's what I have proposed for the amount that we have. I'm feeling kind of guilty because I'm walking right by the chickens to go get the hay put out. But the chickens will come out. I can throw the corn under the bus. They cannot get wet, and I'm trying to beat rain. We got more rain coming, and I certainly want to get that put out before it happens and get the goats let out. And the baby emus, which are not so baby anymore. They got a birthday coming up. Hard to believe those boys are a year old. Wow. That is the official mouth of the South. That's one crazy breed of goose. The male is silent. I don't know if y'all could hear him. He was more like a kind of a hiss almost, and she's got that loud squawk. So if Egyptian geese are on your list and your ears are like Jason's, get a male. Don't get a female. She doesn't stop. Here's my dilemma for a wet tractor seat. A Squills of Joy pig food bag. And not forget to take this with me. That would not have been good. And I'm just gonna leave this gate open because everybody's up except for Jessie and Honey. And I can about bet you that they are not gonna attempt to come over here and get out the gate. bet Loretta's mad. She's gonna get to come out in a minute. And I can guarantee y'all come tomorrow, I'm gonna be glad I did this. All right, honey, my hands are frozen. We gotta get this thing open. There we go. I got it. We got it. Jessie, don't get the camera. Whew. Man, my hands are frozen. Where is it stuck? Let's see. I see it. Right there. And today is not nearly as cold as what it's going to be tomorrow. All right, Jessie. Watch out, baby. And always take your hay net with you, because the last thing you want is animals eating the strings that come off the hay. Right, honey? All right, let's let it down and then let the goats and the emus out, and I'll come back and let the pigs out. Move it up some. There we go. Yeah, y'all act like you don't have any. You got a whole bale of hay. I see you peeking. I'm coming to let y'all out. Tip, you like that new bale? Everybody's found their places. Some of them inside the hay cradle, some outside. Jessie and Honey. I'm glad I did that for y'all. I wanted y'all to eat that little bit that was left, but I also want y'all to have plenty of good nutrition. Right there, Opie, you got some crazy hair going on this morning, buddy. It looks like you're trying to have a ponytail. What's that little loop-de-doo in the back? And where did Ernest go? Huh? Ow, that hurt. When I left out of the house this morning, the temperatures were in the 40s, and I thought, well, I don't need any gloves, nor do I need a hat. It was sprinkling rain, but I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't know that my fingers, muddy hands, but I don't know that my fingers have ever been this cold feeling. I got a bag full of gardening gloves that I bought at Tractor Supply for 50% off, $2.79. So our Tractor Supply does this thing where they do like they call it a manager special. And if you got a clearance aisle, from time to time, it's random. It just depends on what the manager decides. They will mark specific areas of the clearance section an additional 50% off. Right, Bramble? So I bought all the gloves that I thought I would need, and that way I'd have them. Now these are not meant for warmth, but they're gonna protect my hands a little bit more than what I've got right now. You think you need a pair of gloves? Oh goodness, I don't know what that was. Something, oh, a dog. All right, I know, baby. You're so sweet. Yes, you are. And somebody recently reached out to Jason and said on cold days, when you don't want your hands to get wet, put a pair of latex gloves on and then put your gardening gloves on top of it. And the latex gloves, well, they're just about going to allow your hands to sweat anyway. So when you put those on, it does help to insulate and adds another layer of protection when you've got your gloves on. And here comes Bramble. Oh, buddy. Yeah, I know. You're so needy. We gotta go let Loretta and Gus out. Or at least Loretta. I think Gus is sleeping. You wanna come with me? Of course he does. I don't know that either one of them care to go outside. That is a big hunk of love right there. Now you just must have felt me because I know you didn't hear me talking about you. And I woke Gus up too. I just wanted y'all to be able to go out and get some water. Wander around when you got ready. Of course, Bramble had to come help. These gloves do help, Loretta. You ought to get you a pair of them. You ought to. They do help. Except I can't turn the camera around. Oh my goodness, I've got some kind of something enabled that I didn't want to. I tried to mash the camera. Oh, it says subject lost. This is great. This is great. Mash something on the camera, and y'all know I'm not tech savvy, so whatever it is, I hope it doesn't hinder our videoing. And that's another reason I don't like to wear gloves, because I have to mash the buttons on the camera. So now we're headed to the chickens, which is what I intended to do early on before I realized the animals needed the hay today, not tomorrow. And they're still standing in their same place, waiting on their treat. That must be some good stuff. I mean, I've eaten a lot of corn in my day and a lot of treats, but I don't know that I've eaten anything worthy of just standing at the window waiting your mama to get home from the grocery store. You know, I don't know that I've had that kind of snack like these chickens obviously think they have. Well, it's no doubt that y'all are wanting your snack. Goodness gracious, y'all. And y'all almost let me get it out of the wrong barrel last time. I reached into the pellets instead of the snack, and y'all know exactly where that snack stays. Yeah, you're gonna beat me there, aren't you? All right, girls. Girls and boys. Here y'all go. You get two today because I was late. Whew. Y'all enjoy. So I want to tell y'all how well the basket hanger has worked out. I just was fingers crossed that there wouldn't be a chicken trying to roost up here. It's flimsy, well, not flimsy, but it's thin. It's not flimsy at all. I shouldn't have said flimsy. As thin as it is, there's no way that that could entice a chicken to want to roost on it, was my thinking. And lo and behold, I was right, thankfully. Now, we're going to see how many eggs we have before we pick a basket. I used to do that off the ground, and now that they're hanging up, I can do it by looking in here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 eggs. So y'all are gonna make me get a little basket today, and I was about to talk about how good the egg production has been lately. I got 16 eggs yesterday, I believe it was, and the anconas are still not laying yet, so I'm very pleased with the number of eggs that we're getting during this cold weather. Well, look a here. Looks like you two have joined each other in the seat of love. Goodness gracious. Well, I got a couple of more things I want to get done before the rain comes back, which is not far off. So first off is I finally have 2 dozen eggs for the community to put out in the stand. And I'm not bringing any freezer packs because the temperatures are outside are chilly enough to keep these farm fresh eggs where they need to be. So we're going to get these put in the stand, and then we're going to head on over to the garden and I'll show y'all what I have planned there. I want to tell y'all how good I'm feeling in case you haven't realized. Gluten-free is working for me. I've also eliminated all things that are processed, all processed food. So basically eating just very bland. I haven't used any spices besides salt and pepper. I don't know if I have issues besides gluten, but I know that since I've started doing this, I haven't had a bad day. So something is to be learned from this by me. And Jason explained in his latest video where we're trying to get the heater going in the greenhouse that's in the backyard so we can grow herbs and do some things that would require springtime, summertime temperatures. We want to get that going, and that way I won't have any questions about what's in my food. And I tell you, I just have to believe that my issues are more than gluten, and I don't want to do anything to mess this up. So lots of eggs have been cooked at Cog Hill Farm, and finally I've got a couple of dozen for the stand. Get this sign turned over to eggs in stock so I don't forget. Open up the cooler and get a couple of dozen eggs put in there, and I guarantee you, y'all, they're not gonna last long. The community just appreciates having farm fresh eggs so much, and we do too. So no eggs go wasted around here, that's for sure. Y'all, take a peek at my snowman. We've had so much rain that it's just washed almost all of the white paint off the front of it. It looks like a sandman. Excuse me, it looks like a sandman instead of a snowman. And I've got to make some changes. All right, so now I'm headed out to the garden, and I want to show y'all how well the calendula flowers are doing. It's of course a cold weather flower. It loves cold temperatures, and we kind of struggled for a couple of weeks there because we didn't have any rain. But since the rain has happened, they have started producing flowers and lots of buds. So I want to get the buds, or the flowers, not the buds, the flowers harvested, and that way I can go ahead and get these put in the freezer and on freezer trays ready for the freeze dryer when I have enough to do so. So you can see it's not going to be a whole lot, but I don't want them to go to waste, because if they're left out here, this is what will happen. You can see those right there. So they do need to be harvested, and while I don't have enough for a complete run, we're just gonna put them on freeze dryer trays, wait till we have enough, and then run a whole batch. So let's get started. And just like I thought, it's not very many, but I also did not want any of the flowers to go to waste. They can be used in lots of different medicinal ways. And Laura, our soap maker over at Simply Making It, She makes calendula salve. She has plans in the works for some different products. And we're gonna have flowers for her. Well, y'all, I explained that we put the heat in the greenhouse, and this is another thing that will benefit from that. The plant starts that we are trying to overwinter, being the African blue basil and some lantana, won't have to come in the house and sit on the kitchen table anymore. They can stay outside in the greenhouse where they belong. So I'm going to go pop these few flowers in our freezer, and that way I can have them when I need to add to it, and maybe even have a full run by the time I harvest next time. Well, Dee Dee, it looks like you got good plans for today, laying in your bed, all nice and cozy. And I must say, today's video was not what I expected I would be doing today, but with the weather being nasty, I just had to compromise and just do what we have to do here at Cog Hill Farm. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll have something that's a little more interesting, hopefully, on the next one. Y'all be good.